Hi my loves, and welcome back. I have had the flu for the past week or so, and I've just come down with it really bad. So finally feeling better, but that's why I had so many videos filmed this week and my body was just like, no, we are resting. So we're back now. I feel so much better, but here I am with another car video. Y'all seem to love that, and for some reason I can just relay my message so much better in here. Who knew? But I'm enjoying it, so I'm like, okay, let's do it again. So something that I've been seeing on Pinterest, all these posts, is normalize luxury in your life. And we see these quotes and we're like, yeah, cool, let's post it on our story, we love that. But this one really stuck with me. And it's funny, I'm actually sitting right here outside of a location that I feel that I materialized last night out of nowhere, because I've been living in a part of Houston for over 6 months now, and this has to do with luxury, I promise, but I was not liking it. As y'all have heard in probably many of my other videos, I was like, it's okay, but it's not exactly what I wanted. And so I thought I was either going to have to move at least an hour and a half away or an hour away to really get what I want. And so me and my husband have been talking about this, and we're like, we don't really want to deal with the whole move thing again and going into a completely different town, city again, different area, and just re-normalizing ourselves to this. And so we just kind of put it in the back of our mind. But then last night we decided, okay, let's go out, let's get some good food, and let's just see, let's just go. We weren't even thinking about where we want to live. We weren't talking about it. We were just talking about normal things. So we get into this location and we're like, this exists? Like, where the hell are we? I swear this did not exist. I've never seen this before. We've explored most of the parts of the city. We love going nice places, and we have never, ever seen this before. I mean, it looks like a completely different world, a completely different reality. I swear the restaurants that are here, I knew that they were here, but it's like a completely different layout than I saw before. It's very strange. I don't know if any of you have witnessed this before in your own lives, but it was an incredible experience. So that's why I decided, okay, great. We're going to talk about luxury today. We're going to talk about normalizing this. And what I also want to say is that this happened, this like materialization happened after we both just decided into better. We just decided that, hey, we get to have more. Hey, we get to just decide to level that up. Because what's stopping us? Nothing. Only our decision is stopping us, or our belief that we can't get more. We don't deserve to have more than that. No, I mean, it's not true. It's a lie. So, getting into the video after that little story, normalizing luxury in your life. What can this look like? What does this really look like? What I noticed for myself is that when I start to see really big, what I like to call quantum leaps, although I believe that word actually means small, but just actual shifts in my reality, not these one-off little things that I can sort of write off to luck, or these, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's an obvious shift that happens in your business, in your life, in your relationships, where you know that something has changed. And when I see that happen, because that's what we want, we want actual changes, not just, oh my God, is it a little breadcrumb? Do I get my imagination to come up with believing I can have something? Or do we actually get to see it in our 3D reality? We want to see it in our 3D reality. We don't want to just keep it in our imagination. So, next level investing in yourself. Number one, next level investing in yourself. When I say next level, we all have this amount, this level that we are accustomed to receiving. So, whether that be a monetary amount, whether that be an amount, a value of gift from someone that we are accustomed to receiving, we feel comfortable with, we don't go over usually, and we know that we can get that. When you next level invest into yourself, that's when you're actually taking a leap and doing something that scares you a little bit. So making that bigger investment into a course or a coach or a business coach that you need or want for your business, right? We don't ever need anything, right? Like, it's all within us. Highly recommended that you get support and be around people who are better than you and people that you look up to. But it's all within you. So I would always suggest investing from a place of, I deeply desire this. But if you stay at the same level of investing in yourself, of same level of receptiveness, same level of what you are actually willing to risk for yourself and give yourself, because that's what it really is. You're giving yourself this. You're showing yourself, I trust you so much and I love you so much that I'm willing to give you the best. Talking to yourself. And you know, whenever you stay at the same level of desiring the same thing over and over again, you don't grow. You don't grow. There's no next level that you're working up to. Like, you don't have to change who you're being. You don't have to change your identity to keep getting the same thing, because that's what you're already doing. What you're already doing is getting the same thing over and over again. Whether you like it or it's something you don't like, you're manifesting that from who you're being, from your state of being, and from your identity. So if you never desire more and you never even let yourself desire more, you can never level up, because there's nothing to level up to, right? So there's a quote that I like, and it's the way, I don't know who said it, but it's the way you invest in yourself is the way that you invest in the world. So this is really true. I feel that a lot of women specifically feel that they are selfish for investing in themselves. They're like, oh, I should put this money towards this instead, or I should save it, or there's a lot of shame around it. But in reality, from my experience and from my experience with myself, the more leveled up a woman is, the more kind and generous and pleasant interactions I've had with her. Whenever I was not leveling up and not growing and not doing inner work and not investing in myself and not just learning and growing and becoming this new woman every single day, I was quite a selfish person. Like, I was a person who didn't really think of others, wasn't someone to leave a really generous tip because I was in scarcity. I wasn't someone who was investing in myself while also helping grow someone else's business. It should be mutually beneficial, right? And that's just not the type of person I was. I have personally become a much more generous person, a much more grateful person, the more I invest in myself and level up. And I've seen this with other women too. The women that don't do this for themselves, I'm not saying they're all like this, but there's a level of envy and jealousy and a scarce mindset there that doesn't just come across with money. It comes across with how they interact with people. And all of the women that I know who are abundant and leveled up and constantly working on themselves are the absolute kindest, most genuine people that I know. So this is so true. And something that's really funny about this is that I actually start to always see shifts after I make the decision and make the investment. Before maybe I've even gotten the coaching session, or before I've actually joined the Mistress Mind, before it's started, or before I even look at that first lesson in a new course that I'm getting to do my inner work. I already see an improvement in my life, because what is this doing? It's lifting and elevating my state. It's already elevating my experience. I am already showing up as a new person. I'm already showing up as a new woman who trusts herself enough to invest in herself at that level. That's what it is. And I used to hear this and get aggravated and think, oh, people are just saying this to like sell their shit and get people to buy, you know, whatever they're selling. But it's undeniable at this point from what I've seen for myself and also clients. So that's, you know, you're already changed. Once you make that decision to invest in yourself, even if that's in like a piece of Cartier jewelry or something like that, it doesn't have to necessarily be growth material. That can be growth material in its own way too. But whatever it is for you, when you make that stretch and you put that trust in yourself that you know with your feminine energy, you are able to attract back whatever you invest into yourself, and that builds you as an asset, then there's no reason not to other than scarcity. So I actually came up with this today while I was thinking about this, and I kind of came up with the term shift tolerance. So what this is think about if you have ever drank wine, right? There's always that term tolerance that comes up. Oh, okay, so if someone drinks a glass of wine every night, then they probably have a higher tolerance to alcohol than someone who, like myself, like never drinks. So for me, half a glass of wine, if I were to have that, it would do something to me. But for someone who drinks a glass of wine every night or drinks every weekend, they have a higher alcohol tolerance. I see this the same way with leveling up. You actually have a tolerance that builds where, like I was talking about, if you're just investing yourself at the same level, staying at the same level, having your desires at the same level, and not growing those and not seeking higher and higher and higher, then you create this tolerance and you're not going to grow because you actually need to keep stepping up in order to keep growing. So shift tolerance, I came up with that today and I think it's very applicable, but it's a good way to think about it, especially whenever you're being scared with yourself and you're like, no, I'm just gonna stay small and kind of stay in the same place and like chill for a while. It actually doesn't benefit you to do that, because what you're doing is building up a tolerance, and instead of growing exponentially, you'll actually just fall off and basically have a straight line. Like, it won't even be linear anymore. It's just going to be a straight, flat line, potentially even going backwards. So I thought I would share that. As for, I do have a little announcement to make. So as for, investing in yourself and being around other women who want to do the same, I am hosting my first ever mastermind. It's the LUXE Goddess Mastermind. I am enrolling early, so if you get it now, you get 2 bonus one-on-one sessions with me, and also 2,000 plus, I think it might be even way more than that, worth of goodies that you get along with it. So I'll leave the link below. The sales page is written now, so the price is increased, but it's still not at its full price yet, so definitely get in now. There are payment plans available, and email me if you have any questions. I would love to see you in there. This is for my entrepreneur babes who are, this is not a beginner mistress mind. This is high level. We're getting to the next level in our business income, and I'll be so excited to see you there. So number 2 is, I talked about this in my last video, but trading money for time. So trading money for time, or trading time for money, is the scarce way to look at it. It's what we're conditioned to do, to DIY things, to trade time and take longer with things. But it's okay, because we'll save some money, right? But when you're an entrepreneur and when you're a feminine woman, your time is more valuable than money, because you can always make money back. You can always make money 10x what you're going to spend on something that you're investing yourself in that's going to save you time. Your time and energy are the 2 most valuable things, especially your feminine energy. And so trading money for time, especially whenever you're going to make that money back and then some, is the abundant way of looking at that. Isn't it crazy? It's flipped. And so what are examples of this? This is what I used to do. What I did would be consume all of the free content and then try to piece it together myself, because I didn't want to spend money on a business course that would actually expedite the process, and then I would have a nice framework, whether that be energetic or strategic. And I ended up spending, if you think about it, spending a lot more money trying to use my time, use a lot of time, when I could have just invested in myself and then expedited the time process. Because what ends up happening is you pay with your time. You pay with your time, and you end up wasting money and spending double and losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's basically what's happened to me. I've learned my lesson now. But this happens to a lot of people until they realize that their time is actually more valuable than money is. And so when we trade our money for time, we can invest in the business course that's going to get us there faster and get us to the 10K months instead of struggling for 2 years trying to figure out how to do it. Well, what if you could have it in a few months, and then in 2 years you would actually be having like 100K months, right? So do you see how that actually costs you a lot of money if it's going to take you 2 years to make a 10K month? Well, you've missed out on $500,000 or more. So that's why this concept is really important to understand. Or like DIYing a house project where, you know, you try to build your own furniture or do something with your cabinets just to end up really needing a professional to come in to make it look nice and have the experience that you actually want. Well, you spent money on and time on doing it yourself first, didn't like it, and so then you're spending more money to hire someone that you could have just hired in the first place to do it professionally. So it's things like that that when you try to DIY things, more often than not, it's going to turn out where you're actually spending more money than, unless it's something you really enjoy doing, but you're going to end up spending more money than if you just hired the professional and paid for, you know, money over time. So what this actually shows is scarcity. It shows that you don't trust yourself or you don't believe that you will make that money back. And so it's actually worth the risk more to risk your time and energy that you can never get back to try to do something in order to like penny pinch. Doesn't make any sense. That's not living, that's not making luxury your normal. That's struggling, and that's going backwards. Like we don't do that anymore. So investing your money and saving your time is wealth decisions. So another one on this too is like, this is all about your feminine experience. This is all about how you experience something, because you are the experience, right? With your feminine energy. That is most valuable to us. If we are consistently trying to piece together all the free content or DIY something and making it really difficult on ourselves, that's gonna kill our feminine energy. That is a feminine energy killer, because we're not making it as easy as possible and as luxurious as possible for ourselves. There's no support there. It's all like, I have to do it myself. I can't afford to do otherwise. Those are just limiting beliefs. That is not in any way fact. That is not solidified fact. Like, that is not truth. So thinking about that differently can definitely change your life. So I want to share a little story here. And I also want to, I know I'm announcing like a ton of things. It's just that season and I want to bring out all the options possible. But I've actually decided to open up 3 sessions called LUXE Business Sessions with me. And what I want to do with this is help women really create that high-end offer and attract those high-end clients and just restructure their business in order to work with their feminine energy. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link below as well. I only have 3 slots available, so definitely grab it quick if you want that. But that's my favorite thing to do, is brainstorm all of this stuff with women and help them actually feel supported in their business and make it a luxurious experience in itself. Not just what you're providing other people, not what you're investing in outside of your business, but the whole experience gets to be luxurious. I'm very passionate about this because it doesn't have to be otherwise, and so I want to help you get there if that's what you desire. So also, number three, normalize receiving larger amounts of money. So one of my old coaches used to always say the term value your value. It took me a while to understand what this meant, but really this is about allowing yourself to receive larger amounts of money, especially for your services, but this can just be in general too. So receiving larger amounts of money is actually a show of how much you value your value. So if you don't value the value that you are bringing to someone else through your feminine energy, through your business, what you're offering, even through your feminine energy, even through your presence, even through your own being of a feminine experience is absolutely life-changing to someone else. Being around a leveled up woman is a life-changing experience. And so when you're very aware that you are an asset, and by being around someone else, you can level them up too, you must value your value. You can't get to that point without valuing it's invaluable. It really is. And so allow yourself to receive larger amounts of money. In doing so, you will allow your clients to, and this goes for men too, right? You allow these people in your life to level up and rise to the occasion of what your requirements are, of what experience that you bring. And that's, again, like we talked about this in number 1, investing in yourself at a new level. This goes for your clients too. You allow them the chance at a level up. You allow them a chance at seeing, oh, like I can take this risk. I can invest in myself. I can really transform my life by putting this investment into myself and building them as an asset too. Like I said, it should always be mutually beneficial. And this is one way to do it. If you only see people as being able to pay $350 or under $1,000, and you won't charge higher prices because you don't believe that anyone can actually pay you, well, you're devaluing yourself, and you're also devaluing the person who is purchasing from you, who is trying to have that energetic exchange, and it's actually a weak energetic exchange that does nothing. It's not mutually beneficial. It's bringing both people down. It's bringing both people's experience lower. It's bringing both people's state of being lower. You're leveling down both people in the process of this. And so create offers that are high ticket. What this means is creating an experience, and especially creating a feminine experience. It's very powerful. That is automatically a high ticket offer, right? Whether you're talking about business or yourself as a feminine woman, you are a high ticket offer. Like, you are the high ticket. That's you. There's no such thing as a low ticket feminine woman. That doesn't make sense. Like, it feels so disgusting to say that. So no. Stop charging hourly also. Don't do that. That's devaluing yourself for sure. Like, you're a full package, okay? So charge as a package. No hourly stuff. We're getting savage here. I mean, that's just peasant work. No, like, you don't do that. It doesn't matter if you're like, yeah, well, $3.50 an hour to do this. No, stop doing that. You are devaluing yourself, and you're like putting your client in this weird position of seeing something as very, very transactional instead of an experience that they're paying for. You don't go to a restaurant and like, oh, I was here for 3 hours and the bill was $200, so let me split it up and do this. No. You're like, okay, this food was incredible. This experience, the atmosphere was beautiful. And yeah, I'll happily pay $200 for that experience over and over again because it's so divine. That's how you should be thinking of yourself. That's a level up. That's a level up in a mindset of its own. But lastly, so number 4 is buy nice or buy twice. So yes, this can refer to, obviously, like, don't buy a low quality item or a low quality service, or you will obviously have to buy again. But what this also refers to is when people will get something that they don't actually want, and then they will try to allow or make that fill the void of something that they really wanted. So say you're like, oh, I want a Chanel purse. And then you're like, okay, well, actually, I'm gonna get a Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier because it's 1/10 of the price, or whatever the price is now, and you know, it'll make me happy for now, even though I'm going to want the Chanel later. So basically what you've done is told yourself, hey, I'm not good enough to manifest this or get this or invest in this I can't have it. So basically, we're going to have to lower our standards and not get it and disempower myself in the process. And I'm still going to basically waste money on something. I don't like to say that money's wasted, but in these scenarios, it's like you already spent $1,600 on a handbag. Now, you're still going to want the Chanel. So now you're going to buy twice. Do you see what I'm saying? So this goes for investing in your business too. If there's a business coach you really want to work with and you're like, well, maybe I should just get a budget one instead. And then you work with them and sure, they give you like the strategy for the result and you're like, okay, I can see how this would work. That's great. Yay. But like, I still want to work with that person because I wanted to be around her energy and I wanted to have my state leveled up and being around her because I know that experience would have just been like luxurious. You're going to buy twice, or you're going to pay with the time that you're going to spend after the other session. You know, like we said earlier, like spending money to buy time, you're doing the opposite there. So these mindset shifts, I mean, these are wealth mindset shifts that feel risky, feel scary at first, but especially as an entrepreneur, you must start thinking that way. Otherwise, you're not going to level up. Or it's a slow game, right? Give yourself 30 years, maybe you'll level up a little bit. Maybe you'll hit that 10K month. I don't know. Maybe you'll allow yourself to receive that by then if you've done no inner work and you've done nothing to really like invest in yourself and get yourself there. But it happens with conscious decisions. This does not just happen on default. What default does is levels us down or it keeps us at the same place. And I know personally that's not somewhere I ever want to be. So get what you really want and enjoy it. Like, you're able to get whatever you desire and you can manifest whatever you desire, and you just get to have it. I mean, there's no, you can argue with yourself on that all day. Say, no, I don't. Okay, have fun, girl. Have fun with that. But you can. So start arguing for yourself instead of against yourself. Start arguing for yourself instead of against yourself and see what happens. Okay, so that concludes this video, but remember, of course, to check the links below. I have so many announcements, but I am doing a free training called Blessed. This is for my entrepreneur girls. This is all about wealth and allowing it in and getting those higher ticket clients and just an intro into that. So if you want to get into that training, it's completely free. It will be November 21st and that link will be below as well. But make sure and check out the LUXE Goddess Mistressmind if you desire to be in that container with all of the women who are leveling up in their businesses, and we're just going to build that wealth, build ourselves into assets. Definitely get in there. As for the last thing, I again have the Luxe Biz session that I'm offering 3 of these in November and December, and so claim those if you want to. This is something I am trying out. It's brand new and we'll see, you know, how this goes again, but this will be the lowest price I'll offer it at. If I ever offer it again, it will definitely be a higher price, and yeah, very excited about that, and I'll see you in there. But I will see you in the next video, and I love you so much. Mwah!